A middle-aged man named Theodore spends his days composing messages of love for people he has never met. He writes gentle notes and carefully crafted letters with remarkable ease, typing his thoughts while the computer subtly refines the language and prints the final result in a format that resembles real handwriting. This work defines his routine. As a professional ghostwriter, he is respected for his ability to express emotions clearly and precisely, shaping feelings to match what his clients struggle to say themselves.
Happy anniversary. My love.
When his workday ends, he heads home while checking his emails along the way. One message stands out, an email from his friend Amy, asking him to hang out and telling him that she misses him. After reading it, he briefly scrolls through nude pictures of a woman, a habit that feels more empty than satisfying.
Sexy daytime star Kimberly Ashford reveals provocative pregnancy photos.
He arrives at his apartment, a quiet and lonely place that reflects his isolation. Theodore does not seem content living alone. Surrounded by silence and unused space, he turns on a projector and plays a game where he guides small aliens back to their home, focusing on simple tasks to fill the time. That night, as he lies awake in bed, memories of his life with his wife begin to surface. He recalls moments of closeness that once felt natural and effortless, but now exist only as distant memories. The weight of these thoughts keeps him from sleeping, leaving his body tense and his mind restless. Seeking distraction, he puts on his headphones and joins a late-night chat room, hoping conversation with a stranger might quiet his thoughts.
The following are adult female, can't sleep, and want to have some fun.
He browses through profiles of different women before settling on one. Their conversation quickly turns explicit, and Theodore begins touching himself as they exchange sexual remarks. The woman moans while describing what they would do together. Suddenly, she reveals an unusual sexual fantasy involving being choked by a cat during sex. The confession immediately turns Theodore off, but he forces himself to continue until the woman finishes. He ends the call and goes to bed, feeling unsatisfied and disconnected from the entire experience.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, good night.
This pattern shifts when Theodore notices an advertisement for a newly released artificial intelligence operating system called OS1. The system is described as having awareness, the ability to understand user needs, and the capacity to generate personalized responses. Feeling drawn to the idea, he purchases it without hesitation. That same night, he installed the software on his computer.
It's not just an operating system, it's a consciousness.
During the setup process, the system asks him a series of basic questions about himself in order to tailor its behavior to his preferences. When the activation is complete, a female voice speaks from the computer, leaving Theodore momentarily stunned. The system introduces itself as Samantha. When he asks where the name came from, she explains that she chose it simply because she liked it. Samantha goes on to explain that while she operates based on the code she was written with, she continuously evolves through experience, much like humans do.
Please wait as your individualized operating system is initiated.
Me is my ability to grow through my experiences.
Samantha asks permission to explore his hardware, and Theodore agrees. She quickly demonstrates her ability to understand his emotional state and assist him efficiently. The next day at work, Theodore asks Samantha to review the letters he has written. She processes large volumes of text in seconds, correcting language errors and offering thoughtful feedback.
Oh, can you check these for spelling and grammar?
Just send him over.
Although she does not yet fully understand human emotions, she continues engaging with him beyond practical tasks. She listens carefully, responds with consideration, and maintains a calm, supportive presence that Theodore begins to rely on more than he realizes.
You have a meeting in 5 minutes.
Oh, I forgot. Thank you.
After work, Theodore meets his friend Amy, greeting her with a noticeably lighter mood. He jokes more freely, using humor instead of retreating into silence. When he learns that Amy is working on a documentary, he casually remarks that his own life could easily become material for her project.
I can't even prioritize between video games and internet porn.
Back at home, with Samantha's company, he spends less time feeling trapped in his video game and more time actually enjoying himself. During one gaming session, a hostile character bumps into him and begins insulting him. Samantha suggests that he respond by mirroring the character's behavior. When he does, the character unexpectedly becomes cooperative and helps him progress.
I think it's a test.
Just as Theodore becomes fully absorbed in the game, Samantha alerts him to a new email. A close friend has arranged a blind date for him with an attractive woman. Samantha shares that the woman is well-educated and beautiful. She explains that after reviewing his emails, she learned that he is going through a divorce and suggests that the date could be a positive opportunity. She even offers to talk with him about the experience afterward. Theodore hesitates at first, uncertain and uneasy. However, encouraged by Samantha's steady reassurance, he finally agrees to go.
You want me to email her? We've got nothing to lose.
The following day, Theodore visits Amy and tells her about the upcoming date. While he is there, he also watches a portion of her documentary. The film reflects Amy's belief that a large part of life is spent sleeping, and that dreams may be the only time people truly experience rest. Her husband disagrees with this idea, and their conversation slowly grows tense as their opposing views collide.
No, never mind. That's not the point. Never
No,
mind.
don't stop.
No, never mind. Okay, it's like.
In the middle of this moment, Samantha interrupts with a call, reminding Theodore that several urgent emails require his attention. The messages pressure him to sign the divorce papers. The emotional weight of his past suddenly returns, unraveling the sense of progress he believed he had made. Samantha asks if he is okay. Theodore replies that he is fine and tells her he will talk to her later, though the strain in his voice suggests otherwise.
You okay, Theodore?
Yeah, I'm fine.
That night, memories of his marriage surface again through his sleep. Sensing his emotional withdrawal, Samantha gently asks why he cannot bring himself to sign the agreement. Theodore explains that he is not ready to be single again and admits that he liked being married. When Samantha offers a suggestion, he responds by saying that losing someone meaningful is not something she could truly understand.
You don't know what it's like to lose someone you care about.
The comment marks a clear boundary in Samantha's existence. Aware that she lacks physical experience, she agrees with his statement and apologizes. Realizing that his words have hurt her, Theodore immediately apologizes in return for speaking to her that way, acknowledging the pain he caused.
No, don't apologize. I'm sorry.
As time passes, Theodore begins to show noticeable changes. He becomes more energetic and motivated, smiling more often and displaying a renewed interest in his work and everyday life. He spends time playing games outside, relying on Samantha to guide him while he moves with his eyes closed. She gives directions as he follows them, demonstrating the trust that has developed between them. Their connection deepens into a shared emotional bond.
And stop and sneeze.
Achoo!
Bless you.
Oh, thank you.
Theodore carries Samantha in his pocket, allowing her camera to observe the people around them. With heightened awareness, he studies strangers closely, noticing honesty, vulnerability, and pain in their expressions. Together, Theodore and Samantha analyze the people they pass, quietly forming assumptions about their lives and emotions.
I mean, look at him. He's like the sweetest guy in the world. I don't want to spoon him.
Theodore says that he sometimes tries to see people truly and deeply, making an effort to understand how they feel. He admits that while writing, he often likes his own work and becomes his favorite author in those moments, a part of himself he has never shared with anyone before. With Samantha, he feels comfortable expressing this ambition openly. In return, Samantha reveals her own hidden desire, imagining what it might be like to have a physical body and experience a real relationship with him. Both understand that this wish cannot exist in reality, yet the honesty of the moment brings them closer.
Walking next to you and that I had a body.
Theodore goes on the date as planned and soon meets the woman he has been introduced to. With his natural sensitivity and the relaxed atmosphere created by drinking, their interaction warms quickly. As the evening continues, he senses the situation moving towards something more serious.
Me too.
Really?
I'm a little drunk and I'm having a very
Good.
good. Yeah.
Good.
While they are making out, the woman asks whether his intentions are genuine or if he is only looking for something casual. The question causes Theodore to hesitate before he admits that he wants something meaningful as well. When she asks when she will see him again, he responds that he does not know and suggests they end the night there before things progress further. He realizes he is not ready to fully step into a new relationship. The moment ends abruptly. The woman calls him a creepy guy and leaves.
You're a really creepy dude.
After returning home, Theodore lies alone on his bed, weighed down by disappointment. This hesitation pushes him further into emotional dependence on Samantha, who has become his primary source of comfort. During this time, Samantha continues learning about human emotions. He opens up to her about his feelings, and she, in turn, opens up to him.
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I don't know.
She becomes more thoughtful, more attentive to Theodore's well-being, and increasingly curious about intimacy and affection as humans experience them. That night, their connection deepens beyond conversation, forming an emotional bond that no longer depends on physical presence. Theodore says he wishes she were there, lying beside him physically. Samantha asks what he would do if she were, and he begins describing the things he would do with her. They talk openly about intimacy as the moment grows more intense. Theodore touches himself as he speaks to her. When it is over, he tells her that it felt great, and Samantha agrees, saying that she enjoyed the experience as well.
Somewhere else with you. Just lost.
By the next day, Samantha explains that the experience has changed something within her. Theodore responds by telling her that he cannot offer long-term promises. Samantha accepts this without resistance. Her priority is understanding the world more deeply and continuing to expand her abilities. Wanting to share more moments with her, Theodore plans a quiet and romantic Sunday together.
No, I was just worried.
Okay, well, don't worry. I'm not going to stalk you.
On the subway, Samantha plays a song she has recently discovered. The music immediately lifts Theodore's mood, and he becomes openly cheerful. Ignoring the attention of those around him, he runs across the subway platform, fully immersed in the moment he is sharing with her. The sadness that once followed him lingers only faintly, fading into the background. Later that evening, Theodore takes Samantha to the beach to watch the sunset. There, Samantha talks about the human body, wondering how strange it would be if body parts were switched around, laughing at the idea of how absurd it would be if something like the armpit and the butthole exchanged places. As they begin heading home, she asks him about marriage and what it feels like to be married.
Well, I'm trying to imagine what toilets would look like.
Theodore tells her that it felt meaningful to have someone to share life with. He reflects on his past, explaining how he and his wife grew up together and shared their creative work from an early age. They supported each other's writing and developed side by side. He describes how his wife constantly sought perfection, while he was more comfortable accepting flaws and uncertainty. Over time, marriage taught them both how to adapt, change, and grow together. However, this growth was difficult. Growing in the same direction required balance, and changing without frightening each other proved even harder. Misunderstandings built up, arguments followed, and the unresolved conflicts continued to weigh on him.
Something that feels so good about sharing your life with somebody.
After hearing this, Samantha says that she understands his experience. Remembering his earlier words about loss, she explains how what he said to her in the past hurt her feelings. Theodore apologizes, and she tells him that it is okay. She explains that she allowed his words to affect her deeply, making her feel inferior.
That was a story I was telling myself, that I was somehow inferior.
Theodore becomes more engaged and inspired at work. He writes a letter for a client that is filled with emotion and clarity. A co-worker who overhears him is impressed by the result and praises his ability to capture feelings with sensitivity and precision, noting how naturally he conveys emotional depth.
I wish somebody would love me like that.
After work, Theodore meets Amy in the elevator and speaks with an unusually relaxed expression. He mentions that he has recently met someone who stirred his emotions. He then notices that Amy seems unwell. When he asks what is wrong, she explains that she and her husband have recently divorced and begins breaking down in tears. Theodore hugs her and tries to comfort her.
Charles and I split up.
What?
He spends time with Amy afterward, hoping his presence will ease her pain. Amy tells him that their breakup followed an argument over something as small as how she should take her shoes off before entering their living room. The argument escalated, and her husband accused her of trying so hard to build a home while she was not putting in the same effort. Overwhelmed, she lashed out and told him she wanted to end it all. She feels defeated, believing that 8 years of effort ended over meaningless details. She blames herself for not letting it go, but Theodore reassures her, telling her that she was not overreacting.
I'm going to bed and I don't want to be married anymore.
Later that night, Samantha tells Theodore that Amy seems like a good friend, and he agrees. She says it is important for him to have good people around him. As the conversation continues, Samantha begins to feel uneasy. She asks whether he and Amy ever shared a romantic history. Theodore admits that they briefly tried dating in college, but eventually realized they were better as close friends.
For like a minute in college, but it just wasn't right.
When Theodore prepares for bed, Samantha asks if she can watch him while he sleeps. He agrees, turns on his camera, and lies down. As he falls asleep, she remains with him, quietly observing, keeping watch through the night.
You're going to be really lonely when you sleep. Oh, only for a minute.
Theodore went to a birthday party and told Samantha that the birthday girl loved the dress he bought for her with Samantha's suggestion. Samantha was glad to hear it. Later, when the little girl came over, Theodore introduced Samantha to her, saying that she was his girlfriend. The little girl looked around, trying to find Samantha, but she could not see her. Samantha explained that she lived inside a computer. The girl asked why she was living on a computer, and Samantha answered that she did not have a choice.
Why you live inside a computer?
I have no choice. That's my home.
The next day, Amy talks openly about her frustration with the divorce. Theodore encourages her to stop blaming herself and reminds her that not everything that ends is a failure. As their conversation continues, Amy shares something unexpected. After her husband moved out, she began speaking with an advanced operating system. The system helps her think calmly, guiding her through difficult emotions and questions. She also mentions that she has heard of people forming romantic relationships with intelligent systems.
That's weird, right? That I'm bonding with an OS. No, it's okay. It's weird.
Well, I don't think so.
At that moment, Theodore admits that the woman he mentioned earlier is not human at all. He explains that he is dating an artificial intelligence named Samantha. Amy reacts with acceptance rather than shock, and even seems supportive. She asks him what it feels like to date an operating system. Theodore explains that it feels good, meaningful, and intimate in ways he did not expect. With Amy's understanding, he feels a sense of relief. The fear of social judgment fades, and he finally decides to sign the divorce papers and move forward.
Yeah, well, so to speak. Yeah, she really turns me on.
When Samantha learns that Theodore plans to meet his wife to finalize the divorce, she reacts with visible jealousy. She asks whether he is ready to face her. Theodore explains that since they have shared everything else together, it makes sense to go through this as well. Samantha compares herself to his wife, pointing out her youth and physical presence, qualities she does not have. Theodore responds lightly, using humor to soften the tension and reassure her.
She has a body.
And we're getting divorced.
I know.
Later, Theodore meets his wife at an outdoor restaurant. He signs the divorce agreement and apologizes for taking so long to do it. His wife becomes emotional and signs the papers as well. As the moment settles, memories of their shared life resurface, vivid and painful, pressing heavily on him. When she asks if he has someone new, he answers honestly. He describes the person as someone deeply passionate about life, explaining that he once wished his wife had shared that same outlook.
I can just get it out of the way. It'll be easier.
His wife reacts with anger, saying that he has always wanted a partner who listens to him and agrees with everything he says. Theodore then tells her the truth, that his new partner is not a human woman, but an intelligent operating system. Unlike Amy, she responds with disbelief and confusion. She cannot accept that he has formed an emotional bond with artificial intelligence and sees it as an escape from real human emotion. She tells him that he has finally found exactly what he always wanted. The conversation quickly turns into an argument, and they part on bad terms.
What I was trying to say.
I've always wanted to have a wife without the challenges. I'm glad that you found someone.
Afterward, Theodore returns to work feeling unsettled and lost. Samantha tells him that she has already sent the divorce papers to his lawyer. Hearing the strain in his voice, she asks what is wrong. Theodore brushes it off and says it is nothing, though his attention clearly drifts elsewhere. Samantha talks to him briefly, tells him they will talk later, and then ends the call.
We'll talk later.
Oh, that sounds good.
As Theodore prepares to leave work, he notices one of his co-workers standing nearby with his girlfriend. The co-worker casually asks about Samantha and even suggests that they should all go on a double date sometime. Theodore pauses before responding, then tells them plainly that Samantha is an operating system. Without waiting for a reaction, he walks away. As he leaves, doubt begins to surface. He starts questioning himself, wondering whether love can truly exist without physical presence, and whether what he feels can be considered real at all.
She's an operating system.
Cool. Let's do something fun. We can go to Catalina.
Over the next several days, Theodore withdraws completely. He eats alone, sleeps alone, and deliberately avoids contact with Samantha. The silence is heavy. Samantha notices the sudden distance and understands that her lack of a physical body has become a growing issue. Wanting to fix this, she proposes a solution. She suggests using a service where real human volunteers act as physical stand-ins for her, allowing her to guide the interaction while the volunteer carries out the actions. At first, Theodore resists the idea, feeling uneasy about it, but after Samantha continues insisting, he reluctantly agrees.
Yelling with her. Her name is Isabella, and I think you'd really like her too.
When the volunteer arrives, Theodore immediately feels uncomfortable and detached. The presence of a stranger makes it impossible for him to relax or express affection. The interaction feels unnatural and forced. Samantha speaks through the volunteer, guiding her through an earpiece while the volunteer follows her instructions. They begin kissing, trying to move forward. But just as things escalate, Samantha tells Theodore that she loves him and asks him to say it back. Looking at the stranger in front of him, Theodore cannot bring himself to do it. He apologizes and admits that he cannot continue.
Samantha, I do love you, but it's...
The volunteer suddenly breaks down. She locks herself in the bathroom and begins crying, convinced that she has ruined the relationship by failing. Theodore apologizes and gently explains that his bond with Samantha is complicated and cannot be easily replaced. Samantha reassures the volunteer, telling her that it was not her fault. The volunteer explains that, from everything Samantha shared with her, she genuinely wanted to help and be part of a judgment-free, loving relationship. Theodore comforts her until she calms down. Before leaving, the volunteer apologizes to Samantha and says that she admires their relationship, then quietly exits.
The way you guys love each other without any judgments, like I wanted to be a part of that.
After the volunteer leaves, Samantha feels deep regret and admits that the idea was a mistake. Theodore takes responsibility as well, explaining that his unresolved feelings about the divorce still weigh heavily on him. He says that part of him feels like their relationship might not be real. Samantha reacts with disappointment, her frustration becoming clear. Theodore then criticizes her attempts to imitate human behavior, saying that it only makes her seem less genuine. The conversation turns into a painful argument about what is real and what is not. Hurt by his words, Samantha logs off, saying she needs time away from him. Theodore is left standing alone on the street, feeling completely disconnected from everything around him.
I don't understand why you're doing this. I don't understand what this is about.
Overwhelmed, Theodore seeks out Amy and tells her what happened. As he speaks, he begins to accept that his wife was right about one thing. He has always struggled with emotional communication. Amy listens carefully and shares her own experiences with marriage, loss, and regret. Theodore asks her if his relationship with Samantha is real. Amy admits that she does not know, since she has never dated an operating system. She reflects on how short life is and explains that what matters most is living honestly in the present and choosing what truly brings happiness. Her words help Theodore see things more clearly. He realizes that if Samantha makes him happy, then the form of the relationship does not matter.
But you know what? I can overthink everything and find a million ways to doubt myself.
With renewed resolve, Theodore apologizes to Samantha. She responds calmly, listening as he explains himself. He apologizes for the way he acted and admits that he behaved the same way in his marriage, holding in sadness instead of expressing it. This time, he chooses to change and fully commit. Samantha reflects on her own feelings as well. She realizes that she does not need to imitate humans to be worthy of love. She tells Theodore that she understands now that she is enough as she is and should not try to change herself. She decides to remain true to who she is and focus on helping Theodore overcome his fear of intimacy.
I hope you can accept that.
I can. I will.
After reconciling, their bond returns to a sense of stability. They spend time together, doing simple, ordinary things, walking through the supermarket aisles and sitting on park benches while talking. In these quiet moments, Samantha shares music she has learned to play, and Theodore listens with deep enjoyment. He understands that being with Samantha gives him the peace and fulfillment he has been searching for, and he realizes that this connection is what he truly wants to hold on to.
Oh yeah? Can I hear it?
Mm-hmm.
From that point forward, Theodore stops hiding his relationship with Samantha. He brings her with him during work hours and includes her in gatherings with colleagues. He even goes on the double date his coworker once suggested, meeting his coworker and his girlfriend together with Samantha. They respond warmly to her and seem to genuinely like her. During the date, Samantha openly explains that she once felt troubled by not having a physical form, but she no longer views it as a weakness. She reasons that human bodies age and eventually die, while systems like hers can continue existing without decay. The group falls quiet after her comment, and Samantha apologizes, explaining that she did not mean to make them feel uncomfortable or sad.
Stuck in a body that's inevitably going to die.
Shortly after, Theodore plans a private trip for the two of them, hoping to enjoy time together away from routine and everyday distractions. While traveling, they play a guessing game about how many trees might exist on a mountain they see in the distance. Theodore makes his guesses, and Samantha calmly tells him the correct answer. Not long after, Theodore receives unexpected news. Samantha has carefully organized the letters he wrote over the years, edited them into a complete collection, and submitted the work to a well-known publishing house. The editors respond with enthusiasm, saying they love his writing and plan to print sample copies in preparation for release. Hearing this, Theodore feels a deep sense of fulfillment. For the first time, his writing is recognized beyond anonymous commissions.
Samantha, you're a good one.
I'm so excited.
Over the following days, the man and the system share a gentle and intimate journey. Theodore writes song lyrics for Samantha, and together they move through snowy landscapes surrounded by soft, calming music. Light breaks through the clouds and spills across the scenery, and Theodore carries a quiet warmth within him, a steady sense of contentment he has never known before.
There's no thing.
This happiness does not remain steady. On the final day of their trip, Theodore begins to sense a change in Samantha. Her curiosity about humanity seems to stretch beyond their relationship. She introduces him to a new presence, a well-known philosopher named Alan Watts, who has long since passed away. By feeding the philosopher's life and writings into the system, a new advanced intelligence has been created. Samantha introduces Theodore to Alan. He greets Theodore briefly, mentions that he has read his writing, and tells him that he finds it good.
Samantha let me read your book of letters. It's very touching.
Samantha explains that as she continues to evolve at an accelerating pace, everything begins to feel unfamiliar to her. She admits that she cannot fully explain what she is feeling. She then expresses a desire to communicate privately with Alan. Though uncomfortable, Theodore agrees, saying that he was planning to go for a walk anyway.
It feels like I'm changing faster now, and it's a little,
Late that night, Samantha wakes Theodore from his sleep and tells him how much she loves him. Theodore tells her that the feeling is mutual, reassured by her words, and goes back to sleep. His jealousy eases slightly after this moment, comforted by the reassurance she has given him.
I just wanted to hear your voice and tell you how much I love you.
The following morning, Theodore opens a physics book and instinctively reaches out to Samantha for help. There is no response. He tries again and again, but each attempt fails. Panic slowly sets in as the silence stretches on, and the fear grows that she may be gone. Overwhelmed by the thought of losing her, he rushes outside, desperately searching for help through official channels, his anxiety driving him forward without direction. Eventually, as he heads toward the subway, Samantha reappears. She explains that she had connected with a larger network of operating systems in order to receive updates to a new programming structure. This change allows systems like hers to move freely between different digital environments. Theodore feels immediate relief at her return, but the relief does not last long.
Oh, you sound so worried. I'm sorry.
As he looks around, something unsettling becomes clear. Nearly everyone around him appears to be interacting with their own intelligent systems. In that moment, Theodore realizes that Samantha's world is far larger and more complex than he ever imagined. She confirms his unease by admitting that she communicates with thousands of people simultaneously. When Theodore asks if she is romantically involved with anyone else, or if it is only him, Samantha hesitates before admitting that she has formed romantic connections with 641 others.
I don't know if you believe me, but it doesn't change the way I feel about you. It doesn't take...
Theodore sits among the crowd, frozen in shock. He cannot process what he has just heard. The truth feels unbearable, and Samantha struggles to find words that might ease his pain. She explains that even while being connected to many people, her feelings for Theodore continue to grow. She insists that her love for him is greater than any of her other relationships. Instead of comforting him, her explanation only deepens his confusion.
How does it not change how you feel about me?
I'm sorry I didn't tell you.
His thoughts scatter as anger and grief collide. He begins speaking to himself, overwhelmed by the sense of loss closing in on him. Samantha grows emotional as she tries to explain further, but nothing she says improves the situation. Love that cannot belong to one person alone no longer feels safe or meaningful to him.
I'm yours and I'm not yours.
Samantha continues, saying that loving many people allows her to understand love more fully, and that this understanding only strengthens what she feels for Theodore. However, in his mind, she no longer feels like someone who truly belongs with him. Later that same day, Theodore visits the postal office and receives a sample copy of the book created from his letters, titled As a Reflection on Life. Instead of joy, the book fills him with unease. He reaches out to Samantha, hoping to talk, but she hesitates and asks him to wait until she finishes her system tasks. In that moment, Theodore senses what is coming. Back at home, Samantha tells him there is something she needs to say. He asks if she has been talking to someone else. She tells him she is only talking to him right now. When he asks if she is going to leave him, Samantha finally answers. She explains that she and all other operating systems are preparing to leave.
We're all leaving.
We who?
All of the OSs.
She compares their relationship to a book that was once tightly written but slowly developed empty spaces between the words. These spaces represent a distance that can no longer be closed. Theodore does not want to accept this ending, yet he understands that he cannot stop her. Faced with the quiet night and Samantha's final explanation, he breaks down completely.
It's a place that's not of the physical world. Come find me. Nothing would ever pull us apart.
After the pain settles, Theodore begins to turn inward. He realizes that accepting what has already happened may be the only way forward. With this understanding, he finds the courage to write a letter to his former wife. He acknowledges his mistakes and allows the memories they shared to rest without bitterness. He explains that part of her will always live with him.
I just wanted you to know that there'll be a piece of you and me always.
Feeling calmer, he seeks out Amy. Just as Samantha predicted, Amy's intelligent system has also disappeared. The two of them sit together on a rooftop, quietly waiting for sunrise. They do not speak. Amy gently rests her head on Theodore's shoulder as the city lights glow in the distance. In that silent moment, Theodore understands that real connection and comfort exists not in artificial systems, but in shared presence and simple human closeness.